Alright, it's a trailer hitch. You know what that means. We've got a U-Haul trailer in the back. And the game, look. Cobra Command. No, not really. It's a Donkey Kong Jr. cabinet. But there we go. We've got our first pickup of the day, and we'll go ahead and pick up one more a little bit later and see what it is. A hood scoop can only mean one thing. That's right. You guessed it. A turbo. And here's the second game we picked up. Sega Turbo cockpit. This thing is giant, but I can't wait. I'm super excited for this. It's got the left-hand side shifter, as if you're driving in the UK or in Japan. This game, I believe, was running in and out. I saw it at one point, and it did have some graphics glitches, but I did not turn it on this time, so we'll see how it's going. I love the artwork on this thing. I'll make sure to do a proper walkthrough video of it after I get it back and unload it. And here's the Cobra Command, which does have the board in it, but no monitor. So there we go. I'm gonna pack up and hit the road, and we will do a proper video of this thing when I get back. Oh look, we're driving down the road. My seat belt's not on and my e-brake is on, and we're not actually going anywhere. That's because we've made it back. I actually averaged about 19.5 miles to the gallon on a 113 plus mile trip. Actually, I reset it when I got gas. But if we take a quick look in the back, there we go. The trailer is there. We've made it back. I'm gonna go ahead and unload the trailer and we'll go from there. Alright, so here's the first game that I picked up, and this was a Cobra Command. I think the Cobra Command board is still inside. We'll take a quick look, but it is clearly a Nintendo cabinet, and based on the orange that's showing through, I would say that this is a Donkey Kong Jr. Now, it's got no monitor in it, but it is a Donkey Kong Jr. shell from what I can tell. So that might be what happens with this. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I am going to peel the black paint off and see how it actually looks underneath. Hopefully it's in decent enough shape, but we'll see. So this is the outside of it. Been painted black and dinged up, and you can see orange showing through in several spots. But let's go ahead and open up the back and see what is inside. Alright, here's the inside of the Cobra Command cabinet, well, Donkey Kong Jr. cabinet. And let's take a quick look at what we got in here. We've got the isolation transformer from Nintendo and the 100 volt outlet there. And I have a board here, and it has been converted to JAMA. Let's see if we can read what the chips say here. And it does say Cobra Command on it. I could have sworn this was a Laserdisc game, but I'm not positive, so I'm just trying to look and see if I see any sort of other input for the Laserdisc, but I'm not seeing anything. Let's take a look back here. I don't see anything. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe it was on the harness? I don't know, let's take a look at the harness. Well, this is the JAMA harness, so I don't see why it would be. Louise's Harness Shop. I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm not probably going to play it, but since there's no monitor in it, maybe I can throw it in something else just to see if it works. But there you go. There's the Cobra Command board. And, well, you know what? Maybe it plays blind. I think I'll go ahead and I'll plug it in, and maybe we can even hear it playing. I'm not sure. We'll see. So let me go set that up, and we'll see if what happens. Alright, it's plugged in. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Hear the marquee coming on, but you know what? I'm kind of an idiot. Yeah, sure, there's an isolation transformer down there, but there's actually not a power supply anymore. Well, let's see if the light bulb works, and maybe at least we have that going for us. Yeah, there we go. Cobra Command. The marquee does work. It does light up. That's good. Need a light bulb. Anyway, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I'm definitely going to start by stripping the paint off of it and seeing how this cabinet is as far as its condition goes, and then I'll see where we go from there. Maybe I'll turn it into a Donkey Kong Jr., maybe it'll get flipped, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, let's go take a look at the other game I picked up, that Sega Turbo cockpit. Alright, here is the second game I picked up. This is the one I was super excited for. And I think this game is just pretty sweet looking. I like the artwork on it. It says Sega Turbo on there, and they used the whole cabinet for it. They did reverse the image of the race car. You can tell because down here it says IUA, but if you go over to the other side, it says AUI. But let's just take a quick look from the back. Hopefully I can fit it all in. So it's got a tinted plexiglass on the back, and they did put the car right down there at the bottom. You know, so when you come up to it, you know it's a racing game. I think this thing just looks pretty awesome. It's got the shifter on the left-hand side as if you are driving a right-hand drive car, which is kind of awesome. So if you play most of the other racing games, except for maybe Monaco, shifter's on the right side, because, you know, just about everywhere else they drive on the right side of the road. So anyway, here we go. This is the cockpit version of Sega Turbo. Let's see if we can fit the whole thing in there. And I haven't opened it up yet, and I haven't turned it on. I'm not quite sure if it's going to do anything yet. I don't think I've got a set of keys for it. But let's take a look at the cockpit before we do that. All right, let's go into this cockpit and see what it looks like. I've got a drop light in my hand, so hopefully we can actually see some stuff in here. So right away, you've got a nice bucket seat that you drop into. There's a speaker over here, and the shifter, that's for your left hand. It's got a low and a high. Looks like they actually used a wood grain shifter. That's kind of cool. Most of the time they're plastic or something like that. And you've also got two more speaker grills in the back there, and your rear window, which has the Turbo logo on it. And then as you get into it, you've got a tachometer and speedometer there. I guess those will light up, probably. You've got your top 5 scores, your score. This also has a tinted piece of plexi that goes in front of the monitor. You can see this one's moved. And the bezel has your instructions on how to play. Let's see if we can see that. There we go. And you also have another gauge over here for a vacuum gauge, okay. And your start button down there too. And if we look underneath, let's see. Got a coin door and a gas pedal that looks like it's one of those diamond plated gas pedals, and nice dirty floor. Here's your coin box. So it's got, you know, 2 doors there. And as I'm looking at this, where the shifter is, that also has a key on it and a hinge that must come up at some point, although they've got screws in here, so maybe that's been changed over. Maybe that key's not actually locked. We'll find out, I guess. But that'll be for another day. Let's just take a look up in here. So we've got, you can see where it bolts together, and even some old gum up there, some cobwebs. I don't know, there you go. Well, that's the, oh, and before I got the steering wheel here. Nice dirty steering wheel. And that has the Sega logo with a checkered flag background on it. So there we go. This actually looks pretty cool. Let's see if it'll turn on and actually do anything. So let me go set that up and we'll come back. Alright, so I've gone ahead and plugged it in, and we'll go ahead and turn it on. Like many of the other Sega games, the power switch is right down here on the side of the cabinet versus the top. So we'll go ahead and we'll push that. You can hear it coming on. At least a fan is coming on. I hear noise. We've got some LED lights. The score meter over there is working. Well, at least it's got zeros on it. Hey, that's actually not too bad. There we go. So this game is working to some regard. We gotta try playing a game and see what it actually does. So let me see if I can get situated and we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so let's hop into the cockpit here and see how it goes. Alright. We are in. This is pretty cool. So let's take a look around. So we've got our start button here. That probably should light up. Yeah, that makes sense because my score is lit up, but not the best 5. Take a look at this. This is, let's see if I can get a better angle here. That's sweet. So that shows your speed and your RPMs like a real car. You've got your own gauge. It's not on the screen. I think that's kind of awesome. And then, let's see, we'll look down here. There's our shifter. And like I'm driving in the UK or in Japan. And then let's take a look in here. So coin door bulbs are out, but let's see if I can set this up so we can actually see in here. So hold on one second, let me come back. Okay, so here is inside the coin door, and we've got a service switch, test switch, volume for the front, volume for the left. Oh, so we've got left and right for the front and the rear. So wait, left, right, front, rear. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see, you guys see that? And we've got a service switch, a demagnetizing coil switch, and a test switch. So let's try coining up a game here and see what it does. Alright, so there we go. Push the start button. So there's our blinking start button. Okay. Let's go ahead and push start. Alright, so we're moving. Alright, so I'm turning the steering wheel and I'm not turning. Nope, I'm not turning at all. But I just shifted and the shifter works. So there we go. We can watch, see, there goes my score. My score is going up even though I can't steer. But hey, I think this is pretty cool. So we gotta fix the steering on this. And we'll go from there. Let's see, this gauge doesn't move around at all, but as I step on the gas here, and even if I shift, it does go accordingly. So, you know, if we crash, it drops. RPMs go accordingly. There goes our score. So there we go. But anyway, there you go, guys. So we got a little bit of work to do. We got to clean this thing up and get the steering going. And you know what? Let's move this thing into the basement. I can't wait to play this. So, all right, there you go. There is Sega Turbo. I can hear the sound coming from the back too. There's those 2 speakers behind me and everywhere. I feel like there's some in the front too. I wonder where those are. Maybe not. I don't know. I gotta look around. All right, thanks, guys. So real quick, let's just push the test switch so we can see what that looks like. So that's in the coin door, which you saw earlier. We'll push that. Okay, so it does a ROM test on 3 EEPROMs. So those check out to be good. And we'll go to the next one. RAM test, it says, is good. Alright, so we've got an input test here. Okay, so I've got the coin switches, service switch, start button, the shifter, the accelerator, dip switch settings, and the steering wheel. So if we turn the steering wheel, those numbers should change, and those numbers are not changing. So we'll take a look at what's going on there. While we're in here, let's just check some of the other buttons. The coin switches don't have any levers on them. They've been taken off. But they do work if you just spin the thing. Okay, those work. Let's see, let's check the shifter. So here's our shifter. So shift off and on. That works. Check our accelerator. So it's on 1. If I push down, the accelerator goes to 2 and 3. I think that's all the settings there. 1, 2, and 3. Maybe no 0. I gotta check into that. Maybe it should be a 0. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So there we go. Those are the settings. That's the input test. Let's keep going through to see what else there is. 7-segment LED. Press the start button to increment the numbers. So, okay. So if I push the start button over here, changes them all to 1s. Let's kind of go through, check all that. So 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s. I guess that's the maximum score you can get in Turbo is 99,999. And back to 0. Okay. Let's keep going. Sound test. Push the start button to change the sound. Okay, beeped. Alright. Okay, I get the idea there. I'm not going to do all those now. And then that's the end of the test mode, and then we go right back to Turbo. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to take a look at the steering, and I'm going to clean this thing up and keep you guys updated. I'm excited for this. I want to get in the basement. Alright, there we go. Just want to say one quick thing real fast, maybe turbo fast anyway. I just want to say thanks to the new subscribers, and I've hit the 300 count mark, and I hope you guys enjoy what you're seeing anyway. And if you guys want to see anything in particular that I've done in the past or want me to revisit anything, just let me know. I'll try to do that and share what I know with you. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.